Hello, I'm Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I am an emotional intelligence and personal development coach. What you hear and see here is through the lens of a Black woman over the age of 50. I encourage, motivate, and help Black women over the age of 50 unlearn, relearn, grow, and glow. Although what I share is through my lens of a Black woman over 50, anyone can join as we unlearn, relearn, grow, and glow. Today I want to share with you resetting of my year. I know many people begin to reset and plan for the new year at the top of the year, the top of the calendar year, January. I use my birthday month, September, as my time to reset because I consider that my new year. So as I go through this planning, I thought I'd share it with you. So join me as I reset for my new year of 2024. My life GPS operates around 5 pillars. They are physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, and there's financial and business. So as I'm beginning to reset for the new year, those pillars are those that I revisit. In each of the pillars, I don't necessarily change what I have added in prior years because my goal is to create a lifestyle within my pillars. And so there are some components in each pillar that remain there each year. I just continue to maintain it, and I'll share those with you as we go along. So for the physical pillar, I have exercise, and a sub component or subcategory of that is stretch and move my body. I have focus on nutrition, and those are the only two that I have for physical. And those are always there, exercise as well as nutrition. But what I have realized is that once menopause hit, I really need to be more intentional about that. So I started last year with being more intentional about the food that I eat, decreasing fast food, increasing water intake, the basics, the things that we know to do. But as we get older, we truly realize the importance of it. And with exercise is moving my body. And I will say that I wasn't consistent with it at all. Well, I'll say I've learned what works for me and what doesn't, what time of day works, what doesn't. I kind of track that in my journal. And so now going forward, I've created a plan that that I'm going to be more intentional with. The next pillar is emotional, mental, and spiritual. Again, these are items that are always there. They're becoming my lifestyle. I have maintained them mostly. There's only one new item that I added, and I'll get into that in just a moment. But the reason I really group all of these together is that I have found over the years that my mental, emotional, and spiritual areas of my life, they're all intertwined. And I realized earlier, maybe a few years ago, that the components of each of these pillars, they overlap. And so for spiritual, emotional, mental, the items that I have that I want to make my lifestyle are to journal, daily affirmations, my daily devotions, and that's across the board. The two new things that I added were therapy and meditation. So throughout the year, I have been looking for a therapist, and I haven't been successful in finding one that works with me, what I want. So that's going forward with me. I'll still continue to look until I find the best fit. The second was meditation. I wanted to meditate more often, and what I learned through this current year is that meditation in the morning doesn't work for me. But what I did realize is that meditating like midday, taking that time to stop and kind of basically reset the day, that has been the spot that works for me. So I will continue going forward to be intentional about meditating in the afternoon. The next pillar is financial. And what I had under this area is to learn to invest, to save a bit more. And what remained the same is to continue with my Financial Fridays. So on Financial Fridays, I simply just review my finances, and actually I got off track with that, so I'll be more intentional this year. However, I did not follow through with the investing and learning more about that. So that will remain, and I'll be more intentional about that. And the final pillar is personal development. So each year I try to think of something that I want to learn, something different that I want to do. And this year I added to learn to sew and learn to speak Spanish. I did not learn to sew. I did find a sewing community that I want to join, but that didn't happen this year. I realized I didn't really have the capacity to learn anything new this year based on things that were going on in my life with my day job. I had a shift in my role at the top of this year, January 2023, and it just took me out to the point that I didn't have the capacity after hours to do some additional learning and things like that. But it is going forward. That's under control now. And so I'm taking with me into the new year to learn to sew. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and I'm gonna do things that serve me. Also, in learning to speak Spanish, I wanted to take a class, but like I said, I didn't have capacity. So what I did was I did the Duolingo app. So about minimum of 15 minutes a day, and that's been going well, and I have been quite intentional with that and continuing with that process. And eventually I'll take a class. What I had on personal development that continued was reading. I do like to read, and sometimes when my world gets busy, I won't do that. And I want to be intentional about doing the things that serve me, that I enjoy. Reading is one of them. I usually read some type of nonfiction book, personal development, something like that. Well, I took some time and I just went fiction. And I joined my libraries, Libby, and started listening to audiobooks. I'm really not an audiobook person. I have been a member of Audible for a bit, but I do like a hardback book. I like to touch the pages. I like to take notes, highlight, write. I like to engage with the text. But when it comes to fiction, I really did enjoy putting my headphones on and just listening to some books. The final pillar is business. And the big thing that I wanted to do for that is start a YouTube channel, and that I did. And I thank you for joining and being a part of this community as we grow and glow, unlearn and relearn. This year I had a bonus pillar that I added that I want to keep in each year, and it is travel. And I wanted to take 4 trips. I didn't have any concrete ideas of where or when or how, but to make myself do it, at least I wrote it down, and I did take 4 trips. I'm going to keep travel as a pillar because I want that to be a part of my lifestyle and go forward. So I don't have to reset. I put a complete check mark by that. It is done, but it is going forward, and I will add other trips for the upcoming year, and I'm sticking with 4. Those are the 5 pillars, and the process of resetting is I also have a journal that I keep a mind map in of these 5 pillars and bullet points of each of the components. And then I break down the steps that I'll take to achieve what I have in these pillars. So I went through that journal and assessed where I was, where I need to be. And that's how I reset for the new year, which is my birthday month. If anything that was said that resonated in any way, please subscribe, like, and share this video.